Hi, in this video, we're going to learn about the Lasso tool, the different types of Lasso tools, where we can use it, whether it's for design or for images. Let's begin. I'm going to start by creating a new document. I'm going to select the document with size 1920 by 1080 pixels. Click on Create. Here we have the workspace. Now the Lasso tool can be seen third, below the Marquee tool and the Move tool. The shortcut for the Lasso tool is L. If you right click on it, you can see the different options. There's a lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. Now, what these lasso tools are basically selection tools. As we learned before, the marquee tools are also selection tools. But when it comes to the marquee tools, they are restricted to specific shapes. Like we have the rectangular marquee tool, the elliptical marquee tool, and the line marquee tools as seen here. With the marquee tool selected, you can draw out and make selections of your wish. For example, let's start with the lasso tool. The cursor changes to this now, and if we draw, you can see that a line follows. If we close up the shape, you can see that a selection is formed. Now with the selection, you can click in the selection and then you can maybe fill and choose color. Let's go with the red. See how that area is now filled. Control D to deselect. Let's go back. So basically the lasso tool helps you to create free form selections like this, whatever you want, you can choose. And you can give it anything, whether it's a fill, it's a stroke. You can cut layers, copy layers. Let's try giving it a stroke now. I'm going to give it a 15 pixel stroke from the center. Click OK. See how there now stroke is formed. Let's go back, Control D. Let's select selection tool and let's move on to the polygonal lasso tool. Now what the polygonal lasso tool is, you don't get freedom to move it. What you can see is there are lines. Now this makes polygons. With this you can make any kind of shapes with these straight lines. This will become more uniform than the other one and be more clean if you want precise selections. You can do the same thing here. Fill, color, black. Okay, see how it is filled right now? Now one other thing I want to show you is if you press shift while doing the lasso tool, you can see that it snaps to a specific angle. These are the 180 degree, the 45 degree, and the 90 degrees to all sides. So that means we can have perfect shapes. If I want to create a perfect rectangle using the polygonal lasso tool, I can do it this way by holding down shift while making the rectangle. Let's click on fill again, color, let's go for red. See how that's a perfect rectangle. Now I'm going to press back, Control D. Now there's another technique that you can learn while using the lasso tool. As you can see, there are options here on the top menu bar where it says add to selection, subtract from selection, and intersect with selection. So let's make one selection now. This is my selection. If I click on add to selection, see how there's a plus here? I'm going to click on and make a new selection. See how that both the selections become combined and into one. And that is a feature of add to selection. If I do it with this option, which is subtract from selection, let's go create another one. See how this area is subtracted from the entire selection? Ultimately, it becomes one single selection. If I click on divide selection, I can go from here to here, to here, to here. What it does is it takes a common area which is covered by both the selections. Let's do that again. I'm going to take this part of the selection. See how only the selection within that other selection was formed. So that's how it works. However, there are shortcuts to this as well. So let's see. When you have selected the lasso tool, when you press shift, it becomes the add all automatically. So there you go. When you click on shift, see how it adds to the selection. When you click on alt, it subtracts from the selection. See how that happens. So that's how it works. This can be done for all the lasso tools here. Let's press Ctrl D and do it with the lasso tool now. We do it with the lasso tool. Let's say I created a shape here. You press shift, you can add to this shape. See how it's added. Now, if you press minus, you can subtract from the shape. See how the whole selection is affected. Now you know the basic functioning of the lasso tool. We haven't put it to any use yet, but then let's see how it can work. We also have to talk about the magnetic lasso tool, but we'll talk about that when we come to selecting from images, where it becomes more useful, the most useful actually. So if you're going to make designs, you can do with the lasso tool, and then I want to add this. See how it adds. I'm going to click on fill. Wait, I have to create a new layer first. Click on fill. Let's go to black. See how that's done now. Let's select Control All to select the entire canvas. Go to the move tool. So this is how you can basically do designs with the lasso tool. I did mine with the polygonal lasso tool. You can do it with whatever design you can. Now here I have an image. I'm going to show you the different ways where you can use a lasso tool in an image for selections basically. So before we start off, let's begin by creating a backup of the image. So you can do this multiple ways. You can either press Ctrl J, which duplicates the layer. As you can see, two layers are formed. Or you can drag this layer to this icon right here, which creates another layer. Or you can right click, duplicate layer, click OK. See how another layer is formed. So there are multiple ways to creating a backup. We're going to name this image. Now that we have this image layer, let's hide the background layer. That's the backup, by the way. Now in this example, I want to select only the left hand that can be seen in the left side of the image. And for that, we're going to use different types of lasso tools. To begin with, let's start off with a lasso tool. I'm going to make a rough selection. It's not going to be perfect. But see, as I drag my mouse across the hand, this is one way we can do it. But as you can see, there are parts where it's not perfect. As you can see, the parts over here, here, they're not perfect. So I'm using a mouse, which is difficult. If you have a pen tablet, it may be more useful. But as you can see, if I want to make edits as well, I can just press shift, then drag. See how that area is perfect now. I'm going to click on Alt to minus this. See how this area is perfect now. Like so, you can make changes between the layers. So right now, I'm not satisfied with this, so I'm going to make a change to this. I'm going to click on Ctrl D to deselect. Let's use a polygon and lasso tool this time. This gives us more control over selecting as it's more perfect, especially for people using mice. You can select your cross, but you have to be very concentrated to select the correct edges of the hand in this example. So I'm going to rush through this now. And there's it. See, now you have a selection of the hand. As you can see, it's not perfect again in areas like this, and how you can see it's not perfect in these areas. So what's the best way to select using a lasso tool? This is where we're going to learn about the magnetic lasso tool. This is the easiest method to select objects in a picture. See, right now I'm going to click once and that's it. I just need to keep dragging and it automatically creates points along the way I'm selecting. I don't even have to click. But in areas you feel that you do have to click, you just need to go back, click, and go along. Right here, I'm going to select again. I'm going to carry on. As you can see, a perfect selection is found. Now, why do we create selections? In the case of this image, suppose I just want the hand. I don't want the background. I just want the hand. In that case, I can go to the lasso tool and I can create layer via copy or layer via cut. In this case, I'm going for layer via copy. And as you can see, when I hide this layer, the hand is the only thing that's visible. These are the cases where the selection tool, such as the lasso tool, become very significant. I'm going to click Ctrl Z again. Another way you can use this is by masking. So I'm going to click on this tool right here. We're going to learn about this in a future video, which says Add Layer Mask. Click on that again. See how the hand is the only thing, the selection is the only thing that is visible right now. You can use this for cutting images and placing into other images as well. These are the basics of the lasso tool that I wanted to talk about. I hope it's all come down together well. Thank you.